Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Chase Conley. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, whatever, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Season 1, Episode 1 of a show called The Expanse, which I've heard The Expanse, but I would be lying if I said I knew much about it, other than it's a sci-fi show. I think it was for Amazon. I apologize if I'm wrong about that. Like I said, I'm very not well versed in The Expanse. I know it was out for a couple seasons. I did not know that Thomas Jane is one of the stars, at least of this season. I don't think he's in much of the other seasons, but at least this first season. Well, okay, I like Thomas Jane. Got so excited, my soul tried to jump out of my body in exhilaration to see Thomas Jane again. The Punisher from the 2004 film. He was in Deep Blue Sea. He was in The Mist. Quite a few others. To me, an underrated actor that deserved better roles, in my opinion, than fucking Vice with Bruce Willis. Or that Mars one, The Martian Chronicles, whatever the hell it was, which sucked, in my opinion. But this takes place in a future where 3 points of interest. The UN controls Earth. Mars is this independent military power. And then the asteroid belt, they create the resources. And even though they need this group of places, the asteroid belt, they're still treated like shit. So in this first episode, you don't see... It does go into sort of 3 points of view. A little bit of this UN where this lady is interrogating this guy who's not used to Earth's gravity, so his body feels like he's being crushed because he wasn't born on Earth. It was an interesting idea that in the future, you're born on another place, your body's used to that environment, that if you're on Earth, that would be changed. Again, this does have some interesting ideas. I'll say that. And look-wise, it doesn't look too shabby for a TV show. It's not going to look like a movie. It's still a TV show. But its production value and effects are capable for a TV show. The beginning, it does give a bit of a mysterious flavor to it because you have this woman in 0G and she gets this last remnants of water. She hears this commotion. The ship is empty and dead. She sees this blue light and a guy sucked into it. And she's like, what the fuck? Screams, cuts away. And so, like I said, the points of interest, you have a little bit of the UN that I talked about, but in this first episode, it's mainly either Thomas Jane as this detective whose partner is actually Jay Hernandez he was in the first Hostel film and the sequel. He's been in a few other stuff. And he's hired to find the daughter of these rich parents, who is the girl we saw at the beginning of the episode. And he works for Earth, even though he's part of this asteroid team group, so they keep calling him traitor. And he's, you just say cliche, but you smoking, drinking, hard-edged detective, plays by his own rules, but Thomas Jane does that very well. Just go see Give Him Hell Alone, which is a fun movie. And pretty much him realizing what's going on in this sector, the air filtration is fucking with the kids, and at first he's like, well, there's nothing I can do about it, but he decides to give one of the higher-ups a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. So he's not a cold-hearted asshole. He's got a bit of heart to him. Like, yeah, I'm a fan of Thomas Jane, so it's always nice to see him in something. The other is this spaceship who did this distress signal. And on the spaceship you have the guy... I'm sorry, I'm bad with names, but you have the guy who's with this girl. They love each other, or at least they like fucking. Who doesn't? And he's going to go on the higher ups, but he doesn't really want to be the higher ups because he feels he doesn't deserve it, or he feels like he's it's not really his place. It's like the guy's going to get the job, but he doesn't want the job. He's going to be looked at as a leader, even though he doesn't want to be the leader. Like one of those type of characters. And like the acting is fine. Jonathan Banks, who I've seen he was in 48 Hours, he was in Beverly Hills Cop, he was on the TV show Wise Guy, Breaking Bad. He's only in it for a little bit as this guy who's gone crazy, and he's been in space too long. He even shoots a gun off, and he just wants to go home. But anyway, you get this distress signal. And it's like, nah, we're going to ignore it. Usually these things don't pan out. But the guy who, again, who seems like he doesn't want to be... He eventually does look into the distress signal because... Well, I can't blame the guy. He wanted to do the right thing. Despite him thinking he doesn't want to, he wants to do the right thing. Like, you know, I couldn't just ignore it. What if that was me? What if there was someone I enjoyed, that I loved, that I cared about, that was out there? And ultimately, without people knowing it, he accepts they have to go there, and then you have to send like a group of 5 to check out this distress signal on this ship, smaller ship. And again, the lead guy, he doesn't want to be the lead. He's like, yeah, I get it, no heroes cap. Yeah, no heroes cap. Like that's, I don't mind that type of characteristic on a character because it leaves room for growth, obviously. And it keeps going in between the Tom and Jane, and that kind of, I will say, that kind of put me off a little bit. This going back and forth. I know this sounds stupid, but part of me is like, I kind of wish I was just with the Tom and Jane story. And if it was that, I would have enjoyed this more. If it was just the Thomas Jane as his detective, seeing through his hard-boiled eyes what's going on, and you have the partner who's a bit more bright-eyed. You have him, Thomas Jane, who's seen it all, and then some. Yeah, it's a cliche dynamic, but to me, to introduce us to this world, I guess I could see that being an issue I have with the series, where the stuff in the ship is not bad, but just I kind of wish would just stick with the Thomas Jane stuff. Number one, because I like him. He's my favorite actor among the cast. His character just appeals to me more among the cast so far, first impressions. And I think that would have been cool if Thomas Jane eventually got on a ship and then he went along because he's trying to find this girl. And if it led to him to this ship, which might be the ship that the girl was on at the beginning, the girl with the rich parents Thomas Jane's looking for, I would prefer that, I guess, than what we have here. I like the bit with Thomas Jane. He throws this guy into this area that's going to suck the air out, and Thomas Jane's taunting him, going, "That air stuff, it's pretty good, huh? Yeah, but you love it a lot, don't you? Keep those filters clean, asshole." So that's what I mean, is that I like this character. I want to see more of this character. I wish that it was just centered on this character. Not that these other characters are that bad, it's just I'm much more interested in this. Can we stay on this and stick with this for the whole way through? So is that the case? Because spoiler alert, that's his part of the story. And then the ship, the 5 people go on the ship. There's no one there. They need to leave. They get shot at. They think they're going to be destroyed. It goes past them and destroys the bigger ship. So a lot of those characters you met, like the captain, the lead guy's love interest, all that, they're dead. I will say that does a decent enough job to keep you going, what's going to happen next? Which is what you want, so that people will keep in tune. Again, I don't know if this was a show I'd really care to keep watching. As in, it was fine. But I just, even by the first episode, I don't really get a grasp of what kind of show is this. It's not an action show. It's not a horror show. Or does you call it science fiction? Is it trying to be like a more sophisticated Babylon 5? Was not trying to be a Farscape, but like is not trying to be Star Trek. Maybe that's a good because it's trying to be its own thing, but it's like, okay, it's, I guess maybe it's going to be like a conspiracy sci-fi show where obviously some stuff's going on because there's some ship they say it's a stealth tech from, I guess, Mars. I guess like something's going on, was going to create some war, and I just don't know if this would be... again, it's like, I thought it was fine, but it's not something I would be hard-pressed to check out more of, other than to just flip through and watch the Thomas Jane scenes. I did not because I think it would be bad, it's just like, that kind of reaction. It didn't blow me away. I will look up reviews of this first episode from 2015. They were blown away, and I'm like, well, I guess if you haven't seen sci-fi, I guess you'd be blown away. I thought it was okay. Thought it was alright, but again, going back and forth between, which, that's not non-typical of a lot of shows. Plenty of shows have done that, but it's just, like I said, the one I was interested in the most, I just would rather stick with that, if that makes sense. But yeah, the production, the acting, I didn't really have much issues with it. The story, obviously it's meant to create a bit of mystery and not blow its load in the first episode. So like, what is this blue light thing at the beginning? Is this rich girl, she's probably dead? Or is she dead? And Thomas Jane says he has to go find her. Was it Mars Tech? Or was it someone pretending to be this Mars Tech because they want to fight in a battle? Because maybe the fight, the war, the battle will create more money or more this, more that for some other secret organization or some secret bad guy or whatever the fuck it is. Aliens, whatever. Like, that's the point, for you to keep watching and find out. I'm like, is this trying to be, again, is this trying to be a little bit of sophisticated Deep Star, I don't say Deep Star 6, Deep Space Nine, like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Babylon 5, like, but for a new generation, except without the aliens? I don't know. I don't know. Like I say, it was okay, but nothing that made me blow my mind, if that makes sense. But like I said, the characters not too shabby. Always a big plus for Thomas Jane. The music, I can't remember anything on the music, honestly. And I mean, it was what it was. I guess I'm altogether indifferent on it, which I know is like the toughest reviews to do because it's not passionate love or passionate hate. It was there. It was fine. You know, what say you? I'd be curious. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.